My good people, welcome back to the Dram Diaries. You know who I am. So we're going to do another video on replacements or alternatives to allocated or hard to find bourbons. And the one we are doing today is Weller 12-year. Not much left in the bottle. I would say in this proof, 90 proof for a wheated bourbon, which I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of, this is actually very good. This is my favorite. It is. So I've seen this, like when I look online, selling for the same marked up price as a Stag, which is ridiculous. Stag is so much better than this. But this is a very enjoyable pour. So again, what can we blend to get this flavor profile, right? So I'm not just looking at, I just want another wheated bourbon. There's a lot of them out there in this proof range, or another bourbon with this age statement. Specifically, if I want Weller 12, I want that flavor profile. So the one that to me comes the closest, and I'm just going to say right off the bat, this might surprise all of you, none of the blends that I do to try and match this flavor profile are with wheated bourbons. It just doesn't work. There's something about this. This is like a very, I don't know, like a caramel drizzled luxuriant cherry, like a maraschino cherry, right? Not like a dark, I'm thinking like Luxardo cherry. This is like a rich but brighter, rich sweetness with, you know, maybe a little bit of cinnamon and some char on the finish, but it really is a delicious 90 proof bourbon. So the hardest thing, I think, matching this is that, to me, I get like a cherry cotton candy, not just taste, but like mouth feel, like cotton candy just melts in your mouth. That's what this has, and 90 proof. It's very mouth coating. It is impressive. I have to say that. I have to give it that. So that's the hardest thing, is that where to get that like cotton candy sweet mouth coating feel, and it comes from this Pendleton Midnight out of Oregon. It's a Canadian whiskey. I call it a rye, but it's finished in American brandy barrels. So this has that cotton candy sweetness and that like rich, oily mouth coating feel, even for a 90 proof whiskey. So that's what this has in common with that, and that's about it. So what else can we blend? This is, I'm going to say, the closest to the flavor of that. Blend 1 part of this Pendleton Midnight with 1 part of this Buffalo Trace, and you're going to have pretty much this flavor profile. Like, I'm thinking caramel drizzled, very rich, sweet, bright cherries and some cinnamon and char, but this just adds like a little bit of mustiness to it and a little bit more spice on the finish, which makes sense because this has rye in the mash bill. That doesn't. So this is actually super close, believe it or not. It really is, to what Weller 12 tastes like. I know these aren't wheated at all, but get these and try it. You'll be surprised. Like, really, you could probably fool someone if you poured them a blend, 1 part of this Pendleton Midnight to 1 part of Buffalo Trace. Tell them it was Weller 12. They probably would believe you, honestly. So, something that I think is actually better, it's what I have in my glass right here. Yeah. Oh man, that's good. That's actually good. I don't drink a lot of 90 proof bourbons or whiskeys, but that's really good. It is this right here, one of my favorite lower proof bourbons of all time, Eagle Rare 10-year. So this, to me, the blend of 1 part Pendleton Midnight and 1 part Eagle Rare 10-year. You get that caramely sweetness and that it's still cherry, but this is, like I said, like a bright cherry. I'm thinking maraschino cherry. This is more like Luxardo cherry. Like it's darker and richer, and you still get that like cotton candy mouthfeel. You get a more, I'm going to say, char on the finish, but I prefer the blend, 1 part Pendleton Midnight, 1 part Eagle Rare 10-year to Weller 12. And if I had never had Weller 12-year, if you would have told me that this is Weller 12-year, I would believe you, because in my mind, even now, the blend of these two is what I believe Weller 12-year should taste like, because I'm thinking 12 years old, like it needs to be darker and richer. And it's rich, but it's lacking like that dark, more aged flavor, and that's what this brings to the table. And I'm telling you, this is you want a delicious summertime pour, man. We're coming up on summer here, or spring. This is better. It is, and at least in our market, this is actually pretty findable. I don't know, once or twice a month I can get a bottle of this if I want. So there is one other one that we can do that gets us somewhat close-ish. It's more off-profile than these are. It's also something that comes originally from Buffalo Trace. It's Bowman Brothers Small Batch. Now this is also, 90 proof. It is, they call it a Virginia bourbon because they take Buffalo Trace Mash Bill number 2, which is their higher rye mash bill, distill it one more time, so triple distilled in Virginia, so they can call it Virginia bourbon. But this here, it's basically Buffalo Trace. That's where it comes from. This, though, is going to be more like musty and, I don't know, like a greener taste. And the finish is more like, instead of like a beautiful charred or toasted oak, you're going to get more of like a green, oak, like that bitterness you get from green. So this, of all these, this is my least favorite, and probably, and it's, I don't know, I'm going to say 70% to the flavor of this. This is very close. This is right on. This is better, right? So 1 part of this Bowman Brothers Small Batch to 1 part of the Pendleton Midnight is another option if you want to get kind of close to that flavor profile. And it's actually closer than this, which, where'd it go, is surprising. Weller Special Reserve. This is like, I'm going to say, an upper bottom shelf bourbon. Really, it's not that fantastic at all. On its own, it's nothing like Weller 12-year at all. Like it, I know it's the same mash bill, but they're so different. This is so much better. It really, really is. But honestly, the blend of these gets so close to Weller 12, and the blend of these two is actually better than that. This is what you would think Weller 12 should taste like. So hopefully that helped you out. I would not overpay for this. The only reason I have this is because my friend Kyle gave me the rest of his bottle. So Kyle, thank you. You're awesome, bro. I see this online at least for like $200, $250, which is asinine. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Do you know how much ridiculously good bourbon you can buy for $250? We're going to do a video on what you can get for $250, okay, instead of this. So anyways, I don't know, let me know what you thought. Have you tried some other kind of blend that you think it's really close to this? And again, I'm only using what I have available to me, and I do not buy a lot of 90 proof bourbons because Chanel and I just don't drink them. I've actually bought bottles that I normally wouldn't buy just because we started this channel. Like this bottle, and this bottle, and this bottle. If it wasn't for this channel, I would not have purchased them. So hopefully this helps you out. Don't feel like you're missing out if you can't get this. Blend these two and you're going to be 95% of the way to what this tastes like. You blend these two and you're 130% of what this is. It's better. So anyways, thank you again. Let us know what you thought. We appreciate the comments and we appreciate you subscribing and supporting us. You guys are awesome. So until next time.